Do you want to learn the secret techniques that will allow you to become a multi-orgasmic man? Well, stick around, because I am going to teach you exactly that. So a lot of guys think that when they ejaculate, when they orgasm, it's like one and done, poof, game over, that's it, time to roll over and go to sleep. That is the case for most dudes, but did you know that you can biohack your body in certain ways that will allow you to become multi-orgasmic? As someone who has done this himself, who knows how to employ these techniques and these strategies, I can tell you that it's an extremely fun experience for both you and your lady when you are able to pop multiple times, basically in a row in quick succession. And most of the time when you do this, a woman is literally going to sit there with her jaw on the floor, absolutely flabbergasted. So the first thing is to understand that ejaculation and orgasm are actually two separate things. Now, they are very intimately intertwined, and we typically think of them as the exact same thing, but they are technically separate, and one of the main things we can do here is to learn how to separate them and identify them separately so we can take advantage of that. Now, ejaculation is obviously when semen comes out the end of your dick, and orgasm, you can think of that more as the whole body feeling and brain chemistry dump that happens. Having said that, the ejaculation has its own physical sensation and pleasurable physical sensations associated with it, but it's not necessarily the full body and biochemical brain chemistry dump that an orgasm is. So speaking of brain chemistry, let's talk about a compound called prolactin. So prolactin is an interesting chemical. Both men and women produce it actually, but in men, it's the thing that causes what's known as the refractory period. So the refractory period is the time it takes for a guy to, let's say, recharge after he's orgasmed. This is dictated by this chemical called prolactin. Interestingly enough, prolactin actually also dictates your sex drive and how horny you are. So if you have reduced prolactin, you're more likely to be high sex drive. They did a study on a naturally multi-orgasmic guy where they took blood samples of him before and after orgasm. What they noticed with this guy, he didn't have a brain chemistry dump of prolactin after his orgasm. What that tells us is that a reduction in prolactin, more importantly, is the thing that is going to allow you to become more multi-orgasmic. Now, some bodybuilders actually might be familiar with a way of doing this, and I'm not recommending this by any means whatsoever. I'm simply telling you what people have observed. If you go through bodybuilding forums, you might find reference to a compound called cabbagolene. Cabbagolene, I believe, is an Alzheimer's medication, which influences the relationship between prolactin and dopamine. These two things are actually inversely correlated in your brain. So when prolactin is high, dopamine is low, and when dopamine is high, prolactin is low. If we want to reduce the amount of prolactin in our brain, helping us to become more multi-orgasmic, we need to increase that dopamine. Now, cabergoline, this medication, actually does this. Bodybuilders will take cabergoline when they're on a very, very extreme steroid, something like tren. One of the side effects of tren is that it boosts your prolactin. Dudes have no sex drive or whatever when they're on tren. So to combat that, they take cabergoline, which dumps the prolactin, and they get super horny again. Now, like I said, I'm not recommending this at all, but what has been reported in a lot of cases in bodybuilding forums is dudes taking cabergoline and then finding out that they're magically now multi-orgasmic. However, you can produce a very, very similar effect with some safer and more natural compounds. In particular, vitamin B6, the P5P variant, vitamin E and L-tyrosine, which is a precursor to L-dopa, which turns into dopamine in your body. If you supplement with these three compounds, what you'll find consistently over a period of time, your prolactin levels in your brain will start to reduce, and that refractory time will start coming down again and again and again and again and again. You'll be able to pop, orgasm, and then go again much, much, much quicker. Now, the other way of becoming a multi-orgasmic man, and this is more of a physical biohack, is a technique that you technically call a ruined orgasm. What you're trying to do is you're trying to recognize that what's called the point of no return. So the point of no return is when any more, like you're having sex, you're feeling good, right? And any more stimulation to your penis will cause an orgasm. There's no stopping it whatsoever. Now, this requires some practice, reasonable amount of practice, and it requires a lot of mind-body connection. You need to really have an intimate understanding of exactly where that point is for you, because timing is the key with this technique. So what you basically do is you're having sex, and then you're getting to that point of no return. And just before it is when you stop all physical stimulation. Here is what happens. The ejaculation response kicks in first, and then the orgasm brain chemistry dump kicks in afterwards. What will happen is your body will ejaculate, semen will come out, and you'll get the physical sensation that it's actually, the nice physical sensation of ejaculating. But because you stopped all physical sensation, you pulled out or whatever, and you're not jerking it, she's not touching it, nothing's happening. Old boy's down there like drifting around in the wind, and you're ejaculating, but you haven't orgasmed. So you don't get that brain chemical dump of prolactin. It's kind of like half an orgasm, if that makes sense. By doing this, we don't get the brain chemistry dump of prolactin. We don't get a refractory period. Your dick will stay hard and you can go straight into round number 2. And within a couple of minutes, if you want to, you can pop again. Women will absolutely be wowed by this. I've literally had women be like, what the hell? Oh my God, like words like this. They sit there with their jaw on the floor and they're absolutely blown away that you just pulled that off. It is super fun. It's a great party trick, if you've got a couple of girls in your bedroom too, that's even better. So I'd highly recommend, if you want to, experiment with your body, learn more about your body, and try becoming a multi-orgasmic man. Now, if you want to learn more ways to help her get off, then I suggest you check out this video right over here, where I teach you some super sausage thrusting power techniques.